Auxiliary fog lights for the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. We're going to install them today. Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Automotive JT. My buddy Randall has brought his Jeep Gladiator Mojave over here because we've got a little project to do today. We're going to be installing some auxiliary fog lights on the front of his Jeep. Now, I've got Randall over here and we've got everything laid out on the table, and I wanted to let Randall explain what it is he's looking to do.
What I want to do is I want to put more light on the front for fog. We occasionally have fog down here. And when it's foggy on the coast, it's foggy. So I wanted a little bit of more light than what I'm getting out of the white beams. I'm going to go amber. Ordered a kit from these guys, and it comes with, this is the lens that's in it, but it comes with an extra set of amber lenses that also diffuse across the bottom to give you more of a fog pattern. And so what we're going to do is put these on top of the bumper, in the holes in the bumper that we put on that were for a winch plate.
Let me show you that real quick. I'm going to interrupt Randall there for a minute. Here's where they're going to go. They're going to go in these holes right here on top of the bumper. Then the wiring is going to run to the back and then up to the auxiliary bank, if you will, that comes with the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. There are some switches inside.
It is an option. It's a $250, but it's the auxiliary switch pack, and this Jeep had it. So okay. It's not on all Mojaves.
Gotcha.
But it's not an uncommon option because but it gives you 4 switches that are built in, they're already relayed, they're already fused, etc. It comes with a wiring harness. And the harness has the relay, it has a switch, it's fused, it has all of that kind of stuff. Gonna cut out the relay, the switch, the fuse, because it's already on the Jeep. There's no point in double fusing it.
Exactly.
So it's just gonna be using the wire from here to here.
Cool. And then as far as the tools we need, it comes with all the hardware to secure it down, the brackets, the tools, or the hardware rather. The tools we need, just an open-ended wrench, a socket, wire cutter, a few miscellaneous other electrical things, and then we should be able to just mount it on the truck.
Yeah. It comes with 2 Allen wrenches, one to fit the little screws that go through the bracket onto it to tighten it down. Comes with us another one so that you can pull the 4 screws here that let you change out and put the different thing, put it back together. So it comes with all of that. It comes with those 2 Allen wrenches also. It does not come with a wrench.
Let me ask you, which color are you going to go with and
amber.
Why? Amber, okay.
For the amber tends to not get as glary as white light does in fog. Okay. Or sand or dust or whatever. It tends to, the longer wavelength, the way I'm reading it anyway, the longer wavelength doesn't tend to come back into your eyes as bad.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to go with amber.
All right, so what do you think the first step is that we need to jump into?
First step to me is probably to start mounting these and then go ahead and swap out the other plate here. Then once these are down, mount the lights and then wire it. Okay,
let's get started. Okay, we decided to tackle the easiest part of this first, and that is lens replacement. So Randall is going to replace the clear lens with the amber lens for just the reason that he mentioned earlier. So real quick here, I'll show you how that's done. It comes with a provided Allen key, and you just remove the 4 little screws around the top. Should be able to pop the retainer is what I'll call it, and the lens, and then replace it with the new amber. And there you have it. That's what it
Neat.
looks like with the amber lens installed. Back to the brackets. Again, we're gonna go ahead and set the screw for the bracket on top in the hole here, and then I'm gonna crawl underneath and gonna try to tighten it up from underneath with a ratchet. I think there'll be enough room to do it. Down there, space is limited, so it's really a matter of leverage and room as opposed to tightening it. So we're gonna do that next. If it is a success, then you'll see the bracket mounted when we come back on. Okay, we've got the lights mounted, you can see. Now they're not adjusted yet as to where they're gonna be positionally, but they are done underneath, and I'm happy to say I could reach the nuts underneath without having to pull the bumper, and that cuts an hour or two, maybe, off of the whole project itself. So pretty darn happy about that. Now we're going to go ahead and tackle the wiring, and then we're going to connect it up to the Jeep, and ultimately we'll do a test after, of course, the fronts are adjusted at the proper levels, or where Randall wants them. Real quick, we mentioned before about utilizing the auxiliary switches in this truck. The wiring for those, they have put them conveniently right next to the battery, all bundled together there. Randall is gonna set them free. There you go. There are the three, it looks like four switch wires for the switch in the cab. Let me show you real quick what I'm talking about in the cab. Right under or in front of the four-wheel drive selector, you see that red panel? That's not it. Right next to it on the right, you're gonna see four auxiliary switches. That's what we're gonna hook into to be able to control the newly installed lights. Okay, let's catch you guys up a little bit. Randall had to make a trip to the Lowe's to pick up a disconnect, obviously, so you could disconnect the lights should you want to for some reason. We are gonna use this black, I don't know what you call this stuff. What do you call this stuff?
Wiring loom.
Wiring loom.
They call it flex tubing, but it's what they put a wiring loom in to, just so it doesn't snag, and it looks pretty.
Yeah, it's gonna make it look good in between the light and where it goes through the bumper. So just a little touch on there, I think, a little professional touch. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Gonna go ahead and make all the connections and all that stuff, connect it up to the Jeep wiring. And one more time, let me show you that real quick. Right there, you can see it sticking up. That's the wiring that connects inside to the switches. Gonna connect the new lights up to this so it can be controlled inside.
It has two 40 amp wires, two 15 amp wires. We're going to use number 3, which is the orange one, and it's a 15 amp because that's going to be more than enough amperage for these lights.
Let's take a look at a couple of things. Of course, you saw the wiring under the hood. Right down here on the side by the tire is where it's tied up. You might see right under there, right there, just to the front, right there. There you go. That's where it's tied up. Of course, the lights across the front you can see, and there'll be a picture or 3 at the end with them all lit up and everything. Did use this wiring loom cover stuff thingamabobbers to hide the wiring up here. Looks professional, looks perfect to me. I really like it, but the big question is, what does Randall think about it?
Yeah, Randall likes it. This looks like I want it to. And it'll give me brighter lights in the fog, and I'll see a little better, but I'll be seen better.
Awesome. And you said you thought it took about an hour, hour and a half?
If we hadn't stopped, well, one, I had to go get a plug, but if we hadn't stopped to chat periodically and do some other things, I'm thinking probably about an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half tops.
Pretty simple job, particularly when you have a spot already built in to mount the lights and some holes behind to run the wiring through, as well as the switch, of course, that we connected under the hood to the auxiliaries inside the cab. makes it very simple to do. That is the install of the fog lights, I'm going to call them, I guess, on the front of the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Yes or no? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Automotive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Automotive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.